I drink a ton of Coca-Cola. I drink a ton of Diet Coke myself. So.
Ah, the Fire Colossus. It's back.
I
don't know why, but that gave me flashbacks to Evangelion. I just saw that and I froze up and I started hearing Shinji whinging in my ear.
Ah, jeez. So wait a second, let me check. There is a side quest all the way at the far end. And it crashed.
Oh, lovely.
Hold on a second, I'm gonna try and fix it again.
Couldn't handle this many side quests.
It really just said, no, stop.
You've done enough. Go home.
Be with your family.
Problem is, though, my family is not here, which is why I'm able to do this. There we go.
There we go. I knew that clicked in there.
Actually, what I really should do is go up anyway, since I have a chance. Unless the game tells me no.
Oi,
yeah, Nami's pissed that I'm not going in the right direction. But sorry, this is how I do things, Nami. I do frickin' as much of the other stuff as I can because it gives me more advanced gear and stuff to help continue the story.
Nami, you don't understand. Every time I complete a side quest, I get another hit of dopamine.
I need the rush.
I need the rush Frankie's Cola can't provide.
Plus, I also need
Frankie's Cola just hasn't been hitting the same since he took the coke out of it.
Why did they take cocaine out of Coca-Cola?
Health reasons, I think. Like,
I don't mean why. Like when.
Oh.
I think it was probably sometime around the 1940s or 50s, because that was around the time that the FDA was made. I can look into that, though.
That was around the time the Fun Police was invented.
I
was gonna say, oh, wait a minute. Nico Robin saw something. Is it over there? I have to switch to Nico Robin in order to see it. Dang it, it is. I have to switch back to Luffy in order to grab it.
Dang it, now I have to switch back to Usopp to figure out if it's true or not.
Now I have to switch back to Robin in order to grab it.
Now I gotta switch back to a Chopper to give me a headache pill for this crap.
Yeah, this is the area. This is because I collected a lot more Yaya cubes.
Interesting. Don't have anything definitive yet, but according to their company's spokesman back in an announcement in 1988, they said that it originally contained cocaine back in 1886 because there was originally a medicinal drink, and pretty much every medicine back then there had cocaine in it, so it was just standard practice. But around the turn of the century, it was removed. but let me see
That's
if I
even
can
earlier
find.
than expected.
Yeah, that's a lot earlier than expected. So let me see if I can find anything more definitive. Because I
thought
think
it-
even if they didn't have straight cocaine, it had coca leaf extract for a long time. So let me see if I can.
I thought it might have been like around Prohibition or something.
That would make sense.
Oh, by the way, throughout all those transactions, one of the items that I got for collecting a ton of Yaya cubes is Brooke's traveling outfit. So I will be able to play as Brooke at some point in the story.
Brooke has a traveling outfit?
Yeah, you know how the characters here have the world from that's what they're called, is their traveling outfit, which is their pre-time skip outfits.
Gotcha. Alright, so according to Snopes, there were only trace amounts in the syrup by 1902 and it was completely free by 1929. However, I do not trust Snopes in the slightest, so I'm going to do a little bit more research.
Oh, really? I didn't know Snopes was that unreliable.
Oh, Snopes is horrendously unreliable. Yeah, fun fact about Snopes is that they only have 3 employees and one of them is a dog, so that's a great start. Yeah, Snopes, it's just a dude and his wife. Like, that's the entire Snopes company.
Wait, why?
I can fact check that real quick to be sure, but yeah, it's a dude and his wife that just do this shit.
Why do people care then? Like, I've heard.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that Snopes fact checking is like actually taken seriously by a lot of people for some reason, but you really should.
No, I took it seriously because I didn't know it was made by only one person.
Yeah, Snopes like isn't real.
The heck? Wait,
Again, let me do some research so I know that I'm not spreading misinformation on the internet, because, who would go on the internet and tell lies?
Yeah. Side eye, side eye.
Looks like a Weatheria windmill. Okay, yeah, so Nami recognizes that one of the windmills looks the same as in Weatheria.
Isn't that where she's from? Or wait,
that's where she was sent during the 2-year time skip. Yeah, so let me just go ahead and explain that real quick. When everyone made it to the Sabaody archipelago, which is basically the island before entering into the new world, they were all attacked by a man by the name of Bartholomew Kuma, who has the power of the pawpaw fruit.
Mm-hmm.
He ate the pawpaw fruit and became a paw man. So his hands have paws on them that can repel anything. So what he did was yeah, and I'm woefully understating the stuff that happened there. But ultimately what happened was that Bartholomew Kuma sent each of the Straw Hats to a different location. And the place that Nami went to was called Weatheria, which is a sky island that specializes in weather technology. So basically, Bartholomew Kuma sent each of these guys to a location where they can actually train for 2 years. He sent Usopp to the Bowen Islands, where he figured out pop greens. He sent Sanji to Kamabaka Kingdom, he sent Sanji to the Kamabaka Kingdom, Kamabaka Queendom, so that way he can train there. Then sent Chopper to another island that actually has extremely powerful medicine and medical technology. He sent Frankie to Baltigo, which is a technologically advanced island that used to be run by the smartest man in the world, Dr. Vegapunk, sent Luffy to Amazon Lily, and we actually follow Luffy's time separated from the Straw Hats. Amazon Lily, and as the name implies, it is an island of women.
I can see why you sent Luffy there and not Sanji.
Yep. Whenever you're ready,
yeah,
I have an update on Snopes.
Oh yeah, Sanji would have died instantly.
That or he would have been welcomed as a god, one of the two.
No,
There is no in between.
Died. It's either he would have died at the hands of the Amazons, or he would have exploded so much blood out of his nose that he would basically become a mummy.
True. It would have started off as the scene from Return of the Jedi, and then either they would have speared him and killed him, or they would have put him up on the throne, and then he would have died of exhumation. Oh yeah, and then whenever we're ready, I have an update on Snopes. Didn't want to interrupt the flow of the conversation.
Yeah.
What's up with Snopes?
Okay, so it was founded back in 1994 by a couple, the Mickelsons. And then it wasn't until around 2014 that it came out that the wife, Barbara, had not actually written anything in several years, and it was basically just David Mickelson doing everything for Snopes from the period of the early 2000s on to 2014. And then as kind of part of their divorce proceedings, as the couple broke up, he decided to finally hire on some other writers for the site. So for the longest time, it was basically just a Wikipedia-esque site where it was moderated by just two people, and then users could make their own submissions to the site.
Interesting.
As it stands today, it's a little unclear how the site is being run. It has a lot of scandals around it, though, mostly just fallout from the divorce proceedings, because the wife still has a claim to a lot of the articles that were written on the site. If those are generating revenue, then that would mean that that revenue needs to go to her. So, like, there's a back and forth between her lawyer that's representing her without really any input from her that we know of, and then her husband going back and forth trying to figure out how to sort this mess out. Also, they were acquired by a company for a bit that helped them with their site hosting and stuff like that, and then due to like a falling out with them, now there's more legal trouble of who owns what, where does the money need to go, so on, so on. Just your typical scandals. The main scandals, though, that are why you really shouldn't trust Snopes are stuff like they got into a spat with the Babylon Bee for a while, labeling all of their stuff as misinformation, which, if you didn't know, the Babylon Bee is a satire site on par with The Onion. So, like, it would be as if they had taken and fact-checked a bunch of claims by the television show South Park.
Yeah.
Which, like, what are you doing, man? Why are you telling me that Cartman's claims about the Jews are untrue? I kind of just assumed that they were, given that it's from a cartoon.
Exactly.
Yeah,
telling
speaking
me
of the
Mr. Hanky isn't real?
cartoon, yeah, speaking of cartoon, yeah, Lim lost her crystal ball, and we have to find it. We have to find it.
So the crystal bong that she smokes out of, that's where her power comes from?
Yes, it comes from her Crystal Head vodka.
No, even worse, it's her crystal skull vodka.
That's what the Crystal Head vodka is.
The name of the company is Crystal Head Vodka. They package it in crystal skulls. It's partially owned by Dan Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd, yeah.
Aykroyd? Filters it through Herkimer diamonds, which aren't real diamonds. Double terminated quartz crystals, which I still don't know what terminated means.
The point is that it's just silicon dioxide, which is one of the most common materials in the Earth's crust. So it's a common type of crystal, not diamond, which is compressed carbon. which you would think would be really common, considering that carbon is a very common material, but no. The conditions required to actually make diamond, a specific allotrope of carbon, are extremely rare.
Mhm.
Yeah, the way that they use dynamite for, sorry, the way they make diamond for, say, like to tip saw blades, is by putting a bunch of carbon inside of a big tube and then blowing up the top of it with dynamite.
Yep.
To
Well,
cause
not dynamite, but TNT, but yeah. It kind of works. It's not quite the same. It looks much more similar to charcoal than to diamond due to its dull black coloration. However, it does have very similar properties to diamonds with its extreme hardness.
Yeah, and that's what they use to tip tools like drills and saws.
Yep, drill bits and saw blades, because that artificial diamond, due to its extreme hardness, does not have a very difficult time cutting through a lot of things.
Mhm.
It's still fragile, though.
Yeah, I have to head to the thunder.
You don't care about how pure it is. You just care about its properties.
Yep.
But yeah, we have to head to the Thunderhead Ruins, because there's apparently a. Oh, I actually have to climb up. I have to head to the Thunderhead Ruins because apparently the Yoisa that took Lim's crystal ball is there. Oh. Robin found something. Let's see. Where is it?
What?
Okay.
There it is.
So, back in the 1880s, even though Prohibition hadn't set on yet, there was already some Prohibition laws that were in place on a county-by-county basis. And so, at the time, in France, there was this popular refreshment called coca wine, which was made by mixing coca leaf extract with Bordeaux wine, which I don't remember what kind of wine Bordeaux is. Basically, they're taking cheap wine and mixing it with coca leaf extract in order to give you a nice bump of energy. So, yeah, because 1880s, let's just mix wine and cocaine. Why not? Anyway.
Uppers and downers.
Uppers and downers! The pharmacist John Pemberton over in Atlanta, Georgia, decided that he was going to make his own version of it, and in order to get around prohibition laws, he decided to take out the alcohol, because, yes, the problem with current laws was the alcohol content, not the cocaine content. So anyway, he mixed coca leaf extract into corn syrup. So... Oh no, not corn syrup, we hadn't unlocked that tech tree yet. So he mixed sugar syrup with coca leaf extract to give it a nice sweet taste, and then also added kola nut extract, which ended up giving it its popular flavor and adding a nice dash of caffeine to it. There's some interesting bits of history, though. For example, everyone freaks out about the cocaine. It never was pure cocaine. Instead, it was coca leaf extract, which is far, far less pure. And in a good way. I mean, the impurities there are just the all-natural ingredients from the plant. It's not going to kill you. Basically, it's a far more diluted version of the drug, which makes it more akin to drinking just a really caffeinated tea than actually doing hardcore drugs. Which is, why it was so popular and why it took a long time before any kind of laws and regulations started to do anything about it. Interestingly enough, though, Coca-Cola did get into a very big scandal in the early days, and they had to rework their recipe, taking out one of the key ingredients, because it was thought that the drink was extremely dangerous due to its high concentration of caffeine. So they had to rework the recipe to have a much reduced caffeine concentration, because at the time it was thought that caffeine was a very dangerous drug. They kept the coca leaf extract.
If caffeine was that dangerous, I would...
Oh yeah, if caffeine were that dangerous, bro, I would be ODing every day. I would be on the ground seizing right now.
I don't even want to think about how much caffeine I drink in a given day.
Caffeine addiction is a thing, and it's kind of rough, but it's a very minor addiction to come off of. For example, from the last few weeks, I have been drinking so much coffee, and now that I'm off work for a little bit, for a bit of vacation, I have just been having pounding headaches from coming off of an incredible caffeine high, and it's just wearing down slowly. It's not that bad compared to like a lot of addictions, but anyway, slight chemical dependency that I'm crashing off of.
Yeah, I've been through that, man. It's not fun, but it's preferable to what you would be experiencing.
Yeah,
If it were like an actual drug.
Yeah, it's not like coming off of cocaine or alcohol or something like that where you start getting the shakes.
Yeah.
Start going a little crazy. Nah, I just have headaches and feel tired.
Yeah, I have to worry about headaches if I don't take my medicine because I unfortunately have high blood pressure.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah, that's never good.
Yep. By the way, now we have the opportunity to have Frankie do things.
Yay! Frankie!
Weapons left, Cola Charge, Coup d'Avant, Frankie Fireball, Frankie Cannon, Nipple Light Special,
That's
Frankie
my
Radical
personal
Beam,
favorite.
and Frankie Iron Box. Yes, Nipple Light Special.
Where he literally just flicks his nipples at the enemy and he wins.
Let's see here.
My man's about to get super.
Oh, just blasted him with an air current. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. New World Frankie's ability, and that's the same technique that you saw him using a lot in Memoria, where he required having like a pipe in between his hands and blowing out of air that way. But
No, he just
Frankie's
has a
new
built-in
body.
mechanism for it.
Yes, and that's not the only thing he can do. So much. Let's deal with these real quick.
He can also shoot his nipples at people. I'm only half joking.
Let's clear that out real quick. Yeah, there's a funny thing that happened because there was an enemy in the Dressrosa arc named Senor Pink.
Okay, so apparently Coca-Cola was importing coca leaves from Peru and Bolivia all the way up into the late 1980s. So it's possible that it still contained non-narcotic coca leaf extract all the way up into the 80s. Oh
Yeah.
God, was that what New Coke was?
Well, that's
Was that
still,
New Coke?
that's still decently
way,
before
hi,
I was
kid.
born.
Hey kid, a man of many nipples. Talents!
Yeah. By the way, the thing that I was able to do was I hooked up. No. Excuse me a second. There's something I need to fix. I'll be right. I'm gonna hit starting soon. New Coke was worse than cocaine.
It was worse than cocaine. Yeah.
Apparently,
Accurate.
though, a lot of people actually did taste test it, and they couldn't tell which one was the New Coke and which one was the regular Coke. So I wonder if what happened was they changed the formula to get rid of the coca leaf extract to avoid potential lawsuits. And then they announced it as New Coke, made a big deal out of it as a marketing gimmick, and then when people got mad, they fell on the backup plan of bottling everything under the original Coke brand and claiming that it was original Coke while still using the new recipe.
I see.
I don't know. That's my tinfoil hat for the day.
Yeah, right now I am. Right now I am adjusting things for there.
My sister said it tasted like distilled evil, but it was before my time. Oh man.
Before everything tasted like distilled evil. A78.
Yeah, the I decided to turn down the I decided to turn down the speed on the frame rate on it because I don't think it really matters for the stream. So let's see here.
All these little pieces.
Okay, yeah, now it's
paranoid.
just not wanting to cooperate. There we go. Yeah, I turn. There we go. But yeah, Frankie is also a ranged character.
Mm-hmm.
Those bats must be exhausted waiting with suspense.
But here's the thing that I can do. Where is the... Here we are. I'm going to give Frankie some Thunder Soup. Because I want to use...
You want to hit them with the nipple blast, don't you?
Oh my gosh.
Frankie,
My
use your
conspiracy
ultimate
theory.
Use your ultimate technique, Frankie. Nipple light special.
Those bats must be exhausted waiting with suspense.
It's hallucinating.
Sir, my eyes are down here.
It must be a critical hit. Everyone is now confused.
Yeah. My conspiracy theory checks out, though, because New Coke was introduced in 1985, right around the time that they stopped importing coca leaves.
Poor bats. Do I like men now?
The answer was always.
The answer was now.
Yeah, because that is the thing when let's be completely honest when it comes to dang it, it's still I'm gonna have
Or
to fix
bats.
that
That
later.
was a bad typo. It's okay, kid.
Yeah, but as I was saying though, you've like when it comes to fetishes, whenever a person discovers a fetish, they have always had that fetish. It's just they never knew about it until they discovered it.
I don't know, man. I feel like you can be gaslit into it.
If you're gaslit into having a fetish, you have always had that fetish. Because you discover that fetish.
Zero is talking with a lot of authority on this subject.
So you're saying that the things I've had, I've always had, is what you're saying.
I'm
Yes.
a fine
was
gentleman. I collected like
was
Pokemon cards.
You're saying I was so you're saying I was destined to be like this is what you're trying to suggest.
Not destined, but not destined because I don't believe in destiny.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't. You know what I mean.
Yeah,